Hi everyone, welcome back to Kleines. You join me, I've just been in with our worker here, seeing if he's okay doing some seeding in this field. Seems to be getting on okay at the minute, so I think we're going to leave him to it. We're on a brand new day on the farm, 7:30 in the morning, so it's nice and bright and early in the morning. We're going to try and hopefully sell these pallets of eggs again today. If you've been with us before, you'll know we've had a bit of trouble with this, in that it doesn't seem to want to accept our pallet down at the seals point. But we're hoping it would only not accept it because it was a partially full pallet. So that pallet should now be full. Yeah, it's 2400 litres. So I'm going to take that down to the seals point today and see if I can get it to sell. If the price is good. I have to have a little check on the price. All being well, they'll have come back up again and we can try that today. If not, then we're going to have to get a little bit inventive probably about how we're going to do our eggs here. So let's have a quick check on the price. I know whenever we sold them before, we were getting about 12,500 for them, which was an excellent price. And we're slightly down on that, but I mean, we're just shy of £12,000, so that's still fantastic. Milk 3,800 litres. That looks like a pretty good price. And we should have, yeah, we've got a couple of thousand litres of milk, so that's a full tank in there. Could give the cows a little bale of hay just to get them using up the rest of that grass there as well. We do have stuff now for making TMR, so it's whether or not we just kind of sacrifice the grass. What I could do is potentially pull the grass back out of it and then recycle it, pit it round again into the pit for new silage. That's something I could do. But first things first, we'll go take a look over here. Look at our canola. It's nearly ready. It's been fully fertilized now. Our grass over here as well is just 1 or 2 stages away from growing yet too. So we may get onto the canola harvest today. Fingers crossed. But the exciting thing that we've got today is we're going to spend a little bit of money and we're going to start on our forestry up here at the top. So just at the end of this road, that's all our little tree land. So I'm going to go in and start chainsawing things and moving stuff about with the JCB and get myself a little log trailer. So hopefully we'll get onto that today. Okay, so I've just been having a little look through my forestry mods here, just kind of trying to find myself a trailer. I think this is going to be the one that I'm going to settle on here. It's a reasonable size, it's by no means big, but we're not a big operation. I will as ever buy it second hand. Wide tires, standard tires, I quite like those ones, they're a bit chunkier looking. Let's see about changing the colour. What options do we have? Well, we've got a good variety. Could go for a Massey Ferguson red, that doesn't look too bad. Go for a yellow. Yeah, I think I like yellow for £50. You want to change the other colour at all? That doesn't look too bad, yellow and red. And our rims, go for white rims, there we go, £2,600, okay, I think we'll buy that one. So we're going to buy that to do the transportation of the logs. Now I do have the the lumberjack mod installed, so I can just chainsaw the stumps straight out of the ground. But I'm thinking this here, this little BioBelts stump grinder. Again, we always get it second hand. Get a work light on it. Have we got a Ford? We do have a Ford option on it. New Holland, kind of the same thing. Sort of match the tractor then. Now I know this little thing's notorious for absolutely sucking horsepower out of the tractor. So I'm tempted, because we only have a little bit of land to do. It's not something we're really going to use again. I might only rent this one. It's £121, so yeah, I'll definitely get it anyway. So I'm going to lease it. And we'll see how we get on with it. Because rather than buying it and only having to sell it again. Now our only problem is at the minute, of course, our tractor's currently busy. Does look like the helper's getting on alright over there in that field. So what we'll do, I'll take a run down to the field, get my chainsaw out. I think I have a chainsaw. There we go. Yep, I do have a chainsaw. And see about clearing some space down here. I think we're really just going to start from the outside and work our way in. There'll be some trees that I'll leave. Because they just look nice and they're not kind of the in-game standard trees. Oh no, I was leaving the stumps, wasn't it? That's leaving the stumps, so let's do that. And just clean off these branches. And some of these trees are fully grown large trees, so they will be quite big. The trailer's not at all big, so it's going to be a little bit hit and miss about how I actually get them all in. I'm going to have to kind of work out what lengths I want them, etc. But we'll cross that bridge whenever we come to it. Hopefully I can manage to get them all to fall down so they don't kind of stack up on top of each other too much. As soon as that helper's finished seeding that field, I'm putting soybeans in, by the way. I can't remember if I said what I was actually planting. So I decided to go for a crop of soybeans. Just figured it's the easiest thing, and the canola's almost growing now in the other field. So there wasn't any point in putting in more canola. The canola will just be getting sold anyway, we don't need it for anything, so as long as we get a good price for it, I'll be able to sell that straight from the field. So that'd be quite good, it'll give us a bit more money as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just try and clear down the face of a bit of this first so I can actually get a tractor and trailer in here. I'm not going to do this as time-lapse, because whenever you tend to do forestry as a time-lapse, it gets very busy to watch, very hard to see what you're actually doing, and it makes you almost a little bit seasick whenever you're trying to watch the video back. So I'll clear a bit of this, jump cut, and hopefully by then the helper will have finished as well. And we'll be back with our brand new trailer and our little hired attacher. Alright, see you in a couple of minutes. But I think that's the final tree in this first field. Pretty sure it's all been cleared now. We're certainly off the large tree. There's a couple down here that have left standing. Now, I know we did have a little bit of trouble selling wood in this map before, and I'm not 100% sure if it'll take all of these trees in the sawmill. So we'll do what we can, we'll experiment with what we can, we'll see what we can turn into firewood as well. I've actually been thinking myself doing that. I might replant some of this as forestry again. I'd like to keep a small field and make it into a green or a grass field, something like that. But yeah, I quite like the idea of having a little forested area as well, something I can come back to. And yeah, I thought he had stopped there. Let's get this helper out of there. Getting backed up. I don't quite know why he managed to do the rest of the field and then drive into the fence at that point. Very strange. I'll just do another couple of quick passes here along the bottom of the field and see if that helps out. Now it is going to be quite messy getting all those trees out of that field as well. The grass is quite long, it's going to be full of stumps now. And I'm going to, I think, try and use the bag lifter to get the trunks out on the JCB. I have used it before and it does work really well for the trees as well. The only problem being because they're now all sitting on top of each other, if it tries to lift one, it'll try to lift the other ones that it's all connected to, etc. So that might be a little bit awkward. But we'll see how we get on. Is the helper going to do anything? No, don't think. Helper is blocked by an object. Okay, that's new. I don't quite know what. There's nothing in the field, Mr. Helper. Let's see if I start you off. No, he's on the go this time. Alright, so there's obviously something weird in that field around about there. Something the helper's not liking anyway. So what we'll do is we'll jump across to the JCB. Here we are. We'll swap it out. So we'll take the I'm going to have to go up to the horses, aren't I? The grab is at the horses, I think. Yeah, I can't see it around here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've just kept the bale spike down here. Right, in that case, I'll nip across the horses and see you back at the forest. Okay, so back at the forest again now. What I did was I stopped off, picked up the trailer as well, brought the trailer down and discovered it is a really small trailer. Much smaller than I thought. But we'll work with it. So what we'll do is we'll jump out, cut a couple of logs up to give us a rough idea of the length that we're going to be dealing with. So if that's the end of it, well, it's only going to be somewhere about there. So we'll get a few lengths of this. If this is the case, then yeah, one log is going to half fill a trailer. So let's see how much of a disaster it would be trying to pick this up. This is quite a busy little road here beside us as well, so there's going to be cars trying to come in and out all day. So as you can see, we can use the straps quite nicely to get in, pick one up, we'll take it across, and then we can actually line ourselves up with the next one as well. And if we restrap, we should hopefully be able to lift both off these. Oh, we've gone for the full whack in that one, which I didn't want to go. Let me see, am I able to get the tines in there and kind of pull them apart? Yeah, in there and drag them back. Lovely. I'll go grab... Oh, truck. Ah! See if I can pile these ones up into one little pile to start with. And something tells me the helper has messed up again as well, because they should not have finished that field yet already. I'm going to have to go back and sort them out too, and probably do that rest of that one myself. And I do want to get that field in pretty quickly, because as soon as it's seeded, then the sooner I can get on fertilizing it and stuff. Okay, so looking at that, I probably could go a little bit longer in the logs here as well. Certainly some of them could definitely be longer. I'm hoping whenever I let these go, they will all fall in. Yep. Just give this one a bit of a nudge by hand. But yeah, I mean the trailer, it's definitely not a big trailer. If I'm going to go for this size, I think I would maybe prefer to actually load them by hand. At the minute I don't have any super strength on and I can handle that. So it's not as if, you know, I'm lifting full logs or anything like that. So yeah, so I'll maybe cut them up, and rather than using the JCB, because that's going to take me forever, I'll just look at cutting them into short lengths, loading them by hand, see how much money we get for a, what you call it, for a trailer's worth. And, well indeed, if they do actually sell as well. Oh, see now that one's too heavy to do by hand. It's obviously quite a thick branch, that one. Now where did I cut that? Somewhere there. If I try cutting it here again. Yeah, it's also gone too heavy. So they're obviously pretty substantial logs. Okay, so we're back again. We're going to do a little bit of experimenting with this one now. The trailer's not quite 100% full, but it was proving quite difficult to load. And I'm not 100% sure it's going to take all of these logs as well. So I do just want to make sure before we go too far in this. We've just dropped off the eggs. I didn't mean to drop them. I meant to unstrap the logs. Let's get them lifted back up again. So I just wanted to make sure that it is actually going to sell this wood at the sawmill, that I'm in the right point, and it is actually going to be worth all the work that I'm putting into taking that down there in tiny trailers. So fingers crossed, it is! £5,000! Okay, that's the result. For that was basically 2 trees on that small trailer, £5,000. Yeah, by the time we clear all of those trees, it's going to pretty much pay for that land, or be very close to it anyway. So that's the result. It's going to be a lot of work to clear that. What I may look at doing then is just dragging all the trees out to one location, and then I can kind of do it slow time. Now, let me see. Fingers crossed, these eggs are also going to go. If I unstrap them, will they go? No. If I lift them up, does that help? No. Okay, this is definitely the egg selling point. I'm certain of that. I'm sure this is where I sold them before. Yep. So, oh, it's on the way down here as well. So tag that. And the Sea Hotel. Is this the Sea Hotel? Certainly looks like the Sea Hotel. And that's delivery points, boxes there. So it may be that this pallet mod is just not compatible with this sell point. Okay. Right, well if that's the case, we're going to have to be a little bit inventive on how we're selling these eggs. So let me see, it's 11,851 at the minute per 1,000 litres, and I've got 2,400 litres of eggs here. So let me just quickly calculate that. Wow, okay, that's £27,794 for that pallet of eggs. So what I'm going to do is, hang on, what did I say? 11,581? Is that right? Wrong button, hitting the wrong button. 11,851, that's close enough. So that price has actually gone down a little bit. So I'm going to say £27,800. So I'm going to credit that into my account, and then what can we do with these? Can we hide these? Nope, I can't hide them. So what I may just do is, that little pallet of eggs is going to sit out the front of the hotel, and technically it belongs to us, but we're going to pretend it's not there anymore. I can't hide it. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I hid the whole hotel. Right, so we're up in money. We've just made over £30,000. It's going to take us a long time to get rid of all that wood, especially if I'm having to go backwards and forwards in my JCB here, because it is not quick. I also did have to take over from the helper to finish off seeding that land, as it just wouldn't do it in the end at all. So yes, it's a bit painful doing that field with the helper, but they did some of it. They did a bit. They helped. Right, so we're back up here. I think the plan I've come to now, I'm going to keep the trailer up here. I'm going to leave it across here. This is technically our land up here as well, this little shed. Can't get into the shed. Oh, didn't want to drop that one off. Wanted to unhitch the trailer. There we go. So we'll go into here, and rather than trying to chop it all up and do everything bit by bit, what I think I'll do is I'll go in and try and pull these trees out. I didn't want to lift all of them in one go. I want to kind of get them separated. If I can get one tree out at a time. There we are. Drag that one out. I'll sort of get them all separated out. Get them piled up at the side. And then we can chop them up at our leisure later on. At least that's the plan. If this JCB is going to be capable of doing that. Right, folks, I think we're on to plan. Is this C, D, maybe E or F now? The JCB just doesn't really seem to be capable, especially with that bag lifter attachment, of really handling these trees. So what I'm going to do, nip back across to the shop. I've got another idea. I've got another modern mine that I used to use and really liked. I haven't used it that much in FS19. I used to use it a lot in 17. But I'm going to nip into the shop, see how much it costs, and see if it will be of any good to us this time. So we're back into forestry, and I can't remember the actual name of it, but I know I definitely have it, and I'll certainly recognize it. There we are. So it's this one, the Tajfun, £4,500. Well, new it is, but we'll get it second hand. We don't buy anything new around here. So it works as like a winch, but it also has a bit of a dozy blade on it as well for pushing things around. So we're going to lease it. Or should I buy it? No, I'm going to buy it. It's one load of logs. So yeah, so we'll definitely get use out of it. Whenever it comes to the end of it, I can't always resell it once I'm finished with forestry, but as I say, I'm kind of planning on planting a few trees in around here anyway, so it's always the kind of thing that's going to be relatively useful to me to have kicking around the yard. And I'm the wrong side of this thing now. I'll take them both over at the same time whilst I'm here, but I've actually got myself the wrong way around. Okay. There we go. So the idea of this thing on the front is it does act as a dozer, but it also has a winch on it, so I can winch onto the logs, pull them out, and it kind of pulls them into a pile for me. At least that's what it did before, and it was really good at it before. So I'm going to quickly nip around first with my chainsaw, cut everything up into like half lengths or thirds, something that's a reasonable size, and then see where we go from there. Right, okay. I think I've got everything cut into fairly approximate lengths. I'm sure I've missed a few trees here and there through it, but we'll discover that when we come to them. So now I should be able to give this a little bit of a nudge. Yep. So some of these I may have cut already. So you might find I've got long lengths, short lengths, all different kinds of lengths. But I should hopefully now be able to really doze everything up into one pile. And then from that, I can identify as well. There, the likes of that one. I can see I clearly haven't cut that tree, so I can get that cut up as well. Nice. Right, folks. I know it's been a bit of a painful episode, this one. But we've got progress. We've got a bit of land cleared here. We definitely made some progress, and we've got that other field seeded. So thank you very much for putting up with it. I know it's been haphazard. We will continue on with this. I'll do a little bit more off camera, just because it's incredibly hard to film. And it's very hard to concentrate and talk at the same time as well. So I'll concentrate on getting a few things stacked up, and then we'll continue on with our wood selling next time. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. If you did like the episode, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, do all those normal YouTube things, like, share, subscribe. Okay? That's been the start of our forestry expeditions on Kleines, so we will see you back again. Thank you very much. I've been Walter P. Barnstormer. We'll see you all again. Bye now.